Hi, my name is Imran based KHALID. My material number is 1190746. I am from Camp B1. So this is my diary from week 1 until week 14. So enjoy it. So first case with Dr. Rosnia. So in week 1, we had our class in DKF 1.1 with Dr. Rosnia. And she explained to us about the subject and the course outline. Suddenly, I was surprised because I was chosen to be a leader of the class. What I understand from the case. So for the first case given, it is about a scenario of which scatter land to build a multi-complex. So there are several issues arise related to the construction of the community complex, such as issue of the construction of the complex face many resistance from the scatters cost overrun by RM 3.4 million, and also the termination of the contract with MMM Berhad. SGL Berhad take over the project after the termination. Some issues were found with the complex when a project is recently completed. The scatter needs to moving from the land, and they have opportunity for more than 55 years. The case is more relating to the public accountability because it involves the government's develops a project with MMM Berhad, was a community complex, and there's some issues happen after it. After reading and understand the case, I think it's one of the most interesting case study because we have assigned to do it. We have to investigate from many kind of authorities who is most responsibility to handle this issue. We are as a group member, we have 5 members. We have to define the problem, build a recommendation, what and show what the possible solution, and lastly we must show the action plan for that accidents. For the lesson from the case, one of lesson I learned from this case is we as a human, we need to make a good plan before we starting a new project or anything. Same like our life, we should have a proper plans on what we should do next in the future. In this case, we can say that government should perform feasibility study before developing any project, as it is the one method to evaluate the chance of the proposal projects success by examining all the intention aspects. Let's look to the surah in Al-Quran. Allah said, "O believers, be mindful of Allah and let every soul look to what deeds it has sent for tomorrow, and fear Allah, for certainly Allah is all aware of what you do." Second case from Dr. Prof. Mustafa. In week 4, we meet with another lecturer, which is Prof. Dr. Mustafa. However, we can make it face to face for the class because we have also the public holiday in that day. So we had the online class in the using the MS Team for 2 hours. So in this class, Dr. Prof teach us on the error case study and explain about the next assignment. Then he give also some guidelines and ask us to choose which company that we choose in category of PN17. So what I understand from the case, so from the Aaron scandal, I had learned about the importance of the good corporation governance. The scandal show why strong corporate governance is important for any business and that want to sustain in the business and make the profit. We also can see the demonstrate how accounting policies should not be used and applied. Misuse of any accounting policies can have a negative impact on the company well-being. Honestly, this is first time I heard about the PN17 companies from the for that I know more about it and reason why some companies have been listed. So our group members choose a communal commercial berhad, which is one of the company with the multiple challenges since its lack of the regularization plans does not put in the action and require authorities from regulator agency. I was assigned to analyze about the background of the company and identify the reason why the company is being listed in one of PN17 companies. I think this task is very challenging because that company that we choose uh, has a limited reference sources. So we have to manage to find the information and finish it successfully. The lesson from the case that I learned is uh, it is very crucial for us to know the history that had happened from the others because of that we can know what is wrong and what is right, so we can avoid from the same issues happen in the future. So let's look to the one meaningful quote, which is those who cannot learn from the history are doomed to repeat it. Third case by Dr. Mimi. So in week 9, it is time for us to meet with another lecturer, who is Dr. Izlawani, aka we call it Dr. Mimi. Honestly, this is the first time I learned with him, and my first impression was so impressive because she always asks us to read some hadith before we starting the class. So this will give us a motivation, good motivation before starting our lesson. So for the first class, she give us a short videos which is talk about the assignment, explain it, how to do the presentation, report, and also the role play video. So this is the last case that we are going to learn from this subject. It is about the transfer pricing and the test implementation. What I understand about the case is, from this case, is Asfer has practiced extensive transfer pricings that is legal but quite unethical, as a company pay low of tax rate compared to others company in Ireland. According to this case, Michael McNaughton, who is the director of finance of Hafel, has discovered that the company may be at risk tax avoidance due to the transfer pricing regulation. After recalculating the retrospective tax assessment, he concluded that the Irish governance. After recalculating the retrospective tax assessment, he concluded that the Irish government had provided both companies in Ireland with an undue tax benefit. This was is this was in opposite to the state aid regulation of the European Commissions. For our first task, we need to present about this case, which is dilemma faced by Michael. During the presentation, we suggest that Michael should voice up and not silent about this matter. This is responsibility as a professional person to always be honest and ethical in work. Michael must try to communicate with the management about the transfer pricing issues, even though the company has used that method for a long time. That do not want to simply charge their method. At the end of the day, after considering all the risks that he might face, he decided to put someone else to be the whistleblower. This is the best option to secure his job and to make the things right. The second task is we need to write a report on what the organization should have done to prevent this from happening. So for the second task, we need to write a report on what the organization should be done to prevent this from happening again. We need to answer same situation question given by Dr. Mimi. Lastly, we need to make a role play video to act out the scenario about the awful case, and we are decide to carry out this scenario as a role play and record it through the MS team. This role play is equivalent of Michael meeting with his employer and employees to explain a consistence in which he has connected in the awful case. So let's look to the one of the hadith from Aisyah radhiyallahu anha. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam had said, "Indeed, Allah Azza wa Jalla loves someone who, when he does something, he does it brilliantly." So that's all from me. Thank you.